Smud Lion could never have imagined that his decades-old enemy, Silver Dragon Queen Rose Weiss, would turn out to be a mature beauty with white hair. And the first thing he did to take revenge on Lion Cosmo was to give him a couple of twin daughters, half dragon, half human, transforming it by force of a dragon castle to a castle dragon, all because Lion Cosmo had cast a blood curse on him while in prison. After tasting Lion Cosmo's blood, her whole body burned with desire like the queen. Silver Dragon, how could I? Rose Wise to endure such humiliation willingly. However, the instinct of his body still made it lose its purity, and since dragons have always followed rules, Monogam has missed any opportunity to find a pair among their kind. What made it hate him even more was that Lion Cosmo chose death in the end. You are a man, despicable. The humiliation you have caused to this queen must be paid many times more. From now on you will help obediently to this queen to raise children. The dragons were the strongest race on this continent, although they were few in number, mastered ancient magic. But humans were the greatest enemy of dragons. The war between humans and dragons had lasted more than 100 years, with countless casualties on both sides. But in the year 2024 of the Lion Cosmos creation calendar, humanity's strongest dragon hunter, with an army to attack the Silver Dragon clan, was determined to eliminate its biggest rival, Ross Bates' Silver Dragon Queen. However, he was betrayed by his own people and became a prisoner of the dragons. At that time, in the dungeon of the Silver Dragon clan, Rose Weiss approached with the air of a winner, planning to completely humiliate Leon Cosmo. After bidding farewell to his two subordinates, looked at Leon Cosmo with, "So this is the big-ass slaughterhouses of humanity. How it feels to be our prisoner now." Lion Cosmo knew that death was inevitable and asked Rosewell to give it a quick ending, or else one day I would kill all the dragons. The Silver Dragon Queen laughed. "You want to die? Will not be so easy." With that, he the chin of Leon Cosmo, examining it with a mocking look. "You are a man, quite handsome and masculine. If your face had some scars more, I would like you even more." While that's hit with his finger, he cut off the lion's cheek. Cosmo pulsed a thin wound. He immediately felt something. Pain. Lion Cosmo told Rosewell to stop humiliating him by saying, "Just kill me, or torture me. Do it." But she playfully licked the blood of his finger. "You are so powerful. If he had not been betrayed by scoundrels, you would not be in such a delicate state. Why don't you join our clan? Have the Silver Dragon in its place." Upon hearing this, Lion Cosmos coldly mocked, "You want me to serve you, dragon, as if you were worthy." As soon as I finished speaking, a burst of murderous intent. Ross Weiss's eyes crossed. Immediately moved its tail with force, banging Lion Cosmo against the wall behind him. Before Lion Cosmo could react, she was trampled by a man. "Stinky dares to be rude to this queen. You are filling yourself too much. No, you still think you are the great, celebrated place of humanity. Stop dreaming away. You are about to die here." Failed with overconfidence perhaps. Did you ever have the opportunity to let your descendants will enjoy prosperity with you? But unfortunately without theirs you will never see that day. Ross Weiss, don't underestimate humans. Suddenly began to roll his dragon's tail around the Cosmo Lion's neck. "So let me give you a reflection of the suffering first." That said, the tail of Ross Weiss continued to tighten, and the intense asphyxiation almost made Leon Cosmo lose consciousness. Finally, Cosmo Lion gritted his teeth and responded with difficulty. Her Majesty, on hearing this noble rose-white title, Leon Cosmos was thought to be about to beg mercy. "You made two mistakes from the beginning." She was stunned. "First, you should not have been alone with me, the strongest dragon monster. Second, you shouldn't have tasted my blood." With that, Leon Cosmo activated immediately the blood curse, and red metallic marks blood appeared in his pupils. The next second, the same British brands appeared in Rose's eyes. Vase, her tail unconsciously let go of the Cosmo Lion's neck and quickly regressed 2 steps. At this moment, Rosby was just feeling your body burning, your conscience gradually becoming blurry. A strong sense of weakness caused her to collapse directly to the ground. Anxiety rests in his heart. Why my body is out of control? What is happening to me? Leon Cosmo walked slowly towards his front. His Majesty, all his life will be marked by pain brought by his soul. But just as Leon Cosmo finished speaking, Roseway suddenly threw himself into his arms and pushed it against the wall, looked at him with his face blushing, and Lion Cosmo could even feel his affection. Heartbeat. Might be excited. In fact, Roseway raised his face of Leon Cosmo and kissed him straight inside. Now it was Lion's turn. Cosmos of detaching itself and making its heart fastly tira. After a long 2.5 hours, the magic marks on Roseway's eyes began to fade as they regained consciousness, suddenly discovered that it was no longer pure, having been possessed by another. Turned and roared Lion Cosmo with ferocity. "Bastard, what did you just do to me?" But Lion Cosmos moves quite quietly, while explaining, "I have launched a forbidden technique on you. That blood can only be used once in a lifetime. Cursed because you have tasted my blood. From now on there will be a bond of soul between us. If I die, the curse will you into an endless pain." After hearing this, Rosby thought Lion Cosmo was lying. If it is a curse that provides effect after death, why? Just now Lion Cosmo did not expect an accident. The blood curse had a side effect on you, making you warm up. Before Lion Cosmos could finish speaking, Roseway shoutedly Damn man, shut up. Seeing that finally the lion-like state had fallen into his hands, Cosmo instantly improved, and did not forget to make fun of her. As far as I know, your dragon race follows rules. Monogamous truth. After I die, the great queen, dragon, Silver, not only will it not be able to find a new partner, but also will not be able to leave, and will not be able to explain any of this to the dragon race. It seems that I actually used this curse correctly. Upon hearing the complete mockery of Leon, Cosmo Rossways felt embarrassed and angry. At that moment he continued to pour salt on his wounds. You Majesty did not say before that he did not have hairs, and now you are also without hairs. Bastard, I'll kill you. Rossways furiously spread his dragon claws toward Leon Cosmo, but Leon Cosmo made fun of himself. You don't need to kill me yourself. This broken body of mine will soon die, and you, the haughty and mighty Silver Dragon Queen, you will live a life of pain with hatred for me. This is my curse to you as a human. Rosewise stopped its attack immediately, because now she was very confused. A mere human using such despicable methods. To see Lion Cosmo, who had fallen into a coma, she kicked him in anger. Stinky, taking advantage of me, and now wanting to die. Don't even dream, it said. This used magic healing of the Silver Dragon clan to treat the dying Lion Cosmo. Unconsciously, Lion Cosmo had been sleeping in the dragon's castle for 2 years. In his dreams he remembered his short, but legendary life. At 5 years old, Leon Cosmo killed a dog pierced with his own hands to save the neighbor, and was taken as a by a master to kill dragons passing by. At the age of 14 he graduated from the of killing dragons with the highest rating in history. At the age of 15 entered the against the dragon. Killed countless evil dragons. Regained territory, and achieved great military exploits. From then on, Leon Cosmo was called on Tuesday humanity's strongest dragon hunter. The only hope to end this war between humans and dragons. Until now he had become the Dragon Queen's prisoner. Silvery maybe was due to internal resistance. What made Leon Cosmo awaken from his lion dream? Cosmo was surprised when I discovered that I was in a room, strange and luxurious. At that time, a girl appeared at the door. She looked at Lion Cosmo with tears. Hello, you are awake. To see such a beautiful girl, the youthful heart of Lion Cosmos was instantly captivated. But he quick lied into his thoughts. Must be because he contributed so much to humanity that it could reach heaven after death. And you must be the legendary little angel, right? The girl heard something confused, because his mother had not taught him that he was a toy. Cosmo Lion looked at her with miraculous eyes. Angel, what's your name? She said her good name. Lion Cosmo smiled when he heard it. What a beautiful name. But why does this boy's hair look strange? Black hair with some gray hair. At that time, Moon said this name was given by mother means. Luna. Lion Cosmo was somewhat confused. Angels also have mothers. Also showed up. Lion Cosmo could seemed excited. I know lion means lion. My mother told me this made Lion Cosmo even more curious and quickly responded to a good, who is your mother? When Lion Cosmo heard him say the name Rose, Ways was instantly petrified. A bad feeling arose suddenly in his heart. Cosmo Lion trembling pointed to himself. My mother is Rose Weiss. Then down, before Lion Cosmos could finish. Muna, and directly you are dad. To see the little serious girl, the Cosmo Lion's heart was like a ray of lightning from the blue. She is really my daughter. And that of the queen. Silver Dragon, I am a dragon hunter. Just then Mune saw his mother approach him, and dies. Mother Lion Cosmos quickly turned around to look at. She was really Rose Weiss, but her expression was very cold. Mom must be very happy to see dad. Wake up because you come to visit dad every day. Hearing what? Well said, she smiled meaningfully. That's right, mom loves dad very much. Go play for a while. I have something to tell your daddy. After his daughter left Rose White, he closed the door with his dragon's tail with a slap in the face, then approached Leon Cosmo. How do you like the daughter I gave birth to you? Leon Cosmo was frightened and stepped back several steps. You should hate me to death. Then why did you give birth to the child? Why did you save me? Rose Wise mocked. Do you think I would forget what you told me, just because you slept so long? I want you to suffer a lifelong punishment. Hearing this, Leon Cosmo was both angry and scared. I didn't want to do that either. Humans and dragons are incompatible, natural enemies normally. I would rather be beaten to death than touch you. When he heard this, Ross Wise approached his face. Then, you are saying that touching me is also a kind of torture for you? Leon Cosmo was seriously injured, of course. The second act, Ross Wise wrapped his dragon's tail around the Cosmo Lion cap and then kicked hard, making Lion Cosmo lose his balance and fall on the bed. Unexpectedly, she pounced on him directly, starting what she called her revengerosai. Ripped the Leon Cosmo shirt, preparing to carve his exclusive dragon mark in the body of Lion Cosmo, completely ignoring how hard Lion Cosmo damaged touch. Playing with his index finger, and a dragon mark appeared in Leon Cosmo's castle. Leon, this is my revenge against you. From now on it will be your shame, and you will never be able to leave in this life, Lion. Cosmo, when your humans see the dragon mark on your body, you think you will be considered a great hero, dragon hunter, or traitor who allied himself with the dragons. At this time Leon Cosmo was enduring the pain caused by the dragon mark, questioning why he had to go so far. Ross White, the Cosmo Lion's chin held up gently. You still don't understand. I want you to live with this shame all your life, to be humiliated by me all your life. So this was what Ross White called revenge. Then let's start. The next day at the dragon's castle, two servants in the hallway chatted about gossip. The queen seems to be in a very good mood today, you don't know it, but her husband suddenly woke up yesterday, so that dragon really declared to the outside world that I am her husband. Leon Cosmo could not help but worry. It could be that this dragon has fallen in love with me, but its combat power is too fierce. Staying with her will kill me sooner or later. Definitely, I will not stay here obediently to be punished by her. Thinking about this, Lion Cosmo began planning how to escape of the dragon's paradise, then discovered that there were several dragons guards watching at the door, which obviously made it impossible to get out of there. However, what baffled Leon Cosmo was that today's guards were very few in number, completely different from 2 years ago. Then Cosmo Lion inadvertently saw a strange nearby corpse. This would not be a trap, would it? But Lion Cosmo didn't care much about that now. It didn't matter what had to come out of here. Even if it was a trap, it had to make its way. Although her daughter Muan was very pretty, I could only leave it temporarily in the care of that perverse dragoness. Unexpectedly, when Lion Cosmo's escaped was seen by Muan above Mother Lu. That is so amazing, is crawling on a good dog toy, said excitedly the distant reflection on the rose mirror wall. Wise, who was having breakfast, laughed as saw it. Your dad is very capable. Good closed his little fists. When will mom come to bring dad back? Who wants to play with dad? Bro Rose Wise bent down and pressed his index finger on its small mouth. You can't use the term back fishing for daddy. Would be very rude. Well bowed her head, looking puzzled. Then what term should I use? Rose Wise showed a mischievous smile. Of course. Catches back. After some time Leon Cosmo had escaped from the dragon's chest. Just needed snow, a few mountains to reach human territory. At that moment he stopped and thought, I had run so much, that dragon should not be able to reach me. But just as Leon Cosmo looked up, saw Rose Wise in the sky rushing towards him, having transformed into a blue-eyed white man. Dragon, come on, you run pretty fast. With her landing blocked the path of the Leon Cosmo. Rose Wise was very happy to play with Leon Cosmo like this. The reason why there were so few guards was because he had transferred them deliberately. That damn dog was also something that specifically left. Although Lion Cosmo, I knew it could be a trap, I didn't expect Rose. Wait, he will reach it so fast. What good would it be? Return to human territory now, with its mark on you. No one will recognize you like a dragon hunter, never again. But Leon Cosmo said that even being an ordinary person would be better than being tortured by her every day. Unexpectedly this statement infuriated her. How ungrateful. Ross by flapped its wings, immediately creating a wind, fierce than the lion Cosmos with a claw, and spread its wings to the sky. You dragon, let me go where you take me. Of course I bring you back. After flying for 3 hours, arrived near the frontier city of the empire. Rose Wise suddenly her dragon and lion claw. Cosmos fell directly from a great height. Fortunately, there was a forest down to cushion the fall. So it was not Donnie. That dragon is really fierce. After Lion Cosmo Rose discovered that the illuminated city below was in fact a human settlement. At this time Ross Wise transformed back into her form, human dragon, and stood next to Lion Cosmo. Seeing the long-lost human city. You think you can return to the human world just by crossing, but you basically can't go back. Even if it seems to be within reach. As soon as I finished speaking, the dragon mark on the lion's chest Cosmo. Suddenly she flickered with a purple light when she saw this Roseway. Took a step forward to explain to Leon Cosmo. I forgot to tell you, when one of the two people with dragon marks wants to have intimate relationships with the other, the dragon mark will make him react. You feel restless throughout the body, now with a boost, unbearable itching in your heart. As she spoke she placed her little hand about him. Leon Cosmo looked at Rose Wise incredulous. You are crazy, dragon, you don't see where we are. But she just smiled. So I deliberately brought you in front of your land, natal, so that you understand what shame means. But do you think this can make me lose faith? Leon Cosmo angrily Rose's rebellious hand. I will still wait. Patiently, when the time comes, I will return the double for all the humiliation you have given me. Rose Wise was stunned for a moment. Then smiled playfully. It's okay then. I am waiting to fight you to the death. 2.5 hours after, Ross Spy was particularly satisfied with Leon Cosmo performance. That is, this time I can give you 9 points. 1 less point not to be proud. Leon Cosmo lay in the darkness and despair, literally flowing. Being a dragon princess is really not easy. At this moment Ross Wise approached the lion's ear, Cosmos playing his ass with his finger. How about if I bring you here to visit your hometown every month? This scared Leon Cosmo and made him join the group. I don't know what you were thinking, Dragona then Roseways extended its enormous dragon wings to carry Lion Cosmo back to the dragon's paradise because his daughter was still waiting at home. But Leon Cosmo, I found him an angel, worthy of killing dragons. I will not be taken back as a prey. I want to walk back, Roseways say. Behind him laughed. You are really, it doesn't get me. 3-hour flight from here to the Silver Dragon Temple. You would need at least half a month to walk. Can your weak body withstand this, Lion Cosmo? Or do not underestimate human willpower. Then I would like to see how long you can survive. Rosewise hid her dragon wings as she spoke. After walking for a while, Leon Cosmo was already gasping for shortness of breath. Rosewise proudly followed him back. You can't walk anymore if you beg. A Lion Cosmo interrupted it directly. Who said I'm tired? Don't you see that I am full of energy? I may see that the only hard thing about you is your mouth. In the face of Rosewise's mockery, Cosmo Lion gritted his teeth and swallowed his anger. Just then they both looked forward. Simultaneously, Leon Cosmos discovered that these passing troops were actually dragon hunting soldiers. Just when I wanted to hurry up and get rid of this dragon, saw his face instantly darken. It is not good if I ask for help. All those dragon hunting soldiers will die here, but the soldiers noticed them in the distance. He too are lost. To avoid involving innocent people, Leon Cosmos smiled quickly. We are not only out and about, but the soldier dismounted and approached, thinking that the forest was full of beasts unknown and offering to escort them. Presented as a walker, captain of the 40 prestigious squad of slaughter of empire dragons, Rosswise's face became more and more bleak, and Lion Cosmos quickly thanked Walker for his kind offer. We have discovered self-defense training, and we can protect ourselves. Immediately extended his hand, indicating that he should not approach, but Walker found Leon Cosmo very familiar and mysterious. We haven't seen each other anywhere before. This statement immediately made Ross white. To kill them all in order to silence them. Leon Cosmo turned to see her gathering magical energy in his hand, immediately took his little hand tightly, then brought her into his embrace by replying to Walker. At the same time, sir, he must have mistaken me for someone else. I only have a common face, my wife. I am often confused with someone else as well. Truth, dear. This operation surprised Rosewise. Then Leon Cosmo begged him in a low voice. I will obediently return with you. Please cooperate with me to send them first. Then Walker saw them being affectionate on the spot, and said goodbye with his hand. Watching the dragon killing squad, Rosewise looked at Lion Cosmo with displeasure. You've hugged enough, you Lion Cosmo bastard. Coming to, quickly released it. She thought Lion Cosmo was smart for not asking for help. Suddenly she pointed to him in anger. You need to understand your position. Even though we have children, that doesn't mean she's your wife. To this cosmonaut Lion disparagingly. I was just acting. I never thought about being your husband either. Rosewise proudly walked away. Let's go, there is still a long way to go. But suddenly Lion Cosmo felt a stabbing pain in the palm of his hand. It turned out that he had been injured with the energy came out when his hand by force previously, combined with his already weak body. Cosmo Lion soon from exhaustion. Watching Lion Cosmo in this state, Roseway shook her head with resignation. So damn human. With that it began to transform back into shape of dragon with a great deal of purple energy surrounding it. He then picked up Leon Cosmo with his mouth, threw it gently upwards, and after she landed on her back, Roseways shook its huge dragon wings and flew into the dragon sanctuary. The next morning Leon Cosmo slowly opened his eyes and saw his daughter die, excitedly lying next to the side of the bed. Daddy, you are awake. Lion Cosmo sat down and scratched his head, asking him how I got back together, while moved his little tail, saying Mom brought Dad back. Effectively in the end, he was still taken as a prey by her. At that time Lion Cosmo noticed a ribbon-shaped bandage in the wound of her palm. Could be that dragon female at the sight of her bewildered expression when looked at Lion Cosmo, expectant of praise a soul daddy's wound. Lion Cosmo could not help but remain thoughtful, reminded dragon scholars, saying that dragons spent their whole lives in violence and bloodshed since childhood. Even if they die, the dragon-like characteristics showed no sensitivity towards the Cosmo Lion, treating him completely like his father. Could be this for the mixed blood of human and dragon. Cosmo Lion immediately slapped him on the head as a sign of praise. You did great. Good is so cute. When you grow up you must not be like your mother. Unexpectedly this was heard by the dragon. Outside the door she was carrying Leon Cosmo. With displeasure, what's wrong with being like me? Leon Cosmo quickly said. Nothing, you heard wrong. When raised Lion Cosmo's hand to show Rose. Wise mother. Well, soul daddy's wound as you taught me. After hearing this she answered coldly. These are things you should do. Unexpectedly, after not receiving praise, Good showed no signs of disappointment. His mother looked like Rose. Ways was really a wild mother, so Lion Cosmos bent down and gave him a patting on the head to a good. How about Dad playing a game with you? First go hide in the garden. And after counting to 100 I will come looking for you. Gwen was very happy to hear this. Great, Dad is going to play hide and seek with Moon. Then Cosmo Lion began to tell. 1 2 3 said, die while running. Oh my goodness, Daddy, count slower. After Lion Cosmos walked out the door, began discussing his daughter's education with Rose. Why? He thought she was too strict with the child. But Rose Wise thought this was normal. Dragons have always been like this. Being generous to children from childhood cultivates strong warriors. But Moon is not completely a dragon, and she is so pretty. How it can support it? Unexpectedly, Rose Wise said how cute was a derogatory term for dragons. After hearing this, Leon Cosmo somehow got confused, and actually said Rose Wise looked cute too. Rose Wase's wrath was ignited by Leon Cosmo. Just like that, she the Leon Cosmo clothes, you are just a slave to let me off steam, don't go overboard. To see her so angry, Lion Cosmo instinctively swallowed, salivated, and apologized to her. Rose Wase's anger instantly dissipated. Well, that you understand. I am the Dragon King, Silver, with many political issues to manage. The task of caring for the child is left to you. By the way, that child, Ian, seems to be quite liked. When Leon Cosmo arrived at the garden, became more angry the more he thought about it. Is that Dragon Kings cannot take care of children. Act as if I, a dragon hunter, had born to be responsible for the care of children. At that time, Lion Cosmo, suddenly he saw a figure, a relative hidden behind him. That should be good truth. This child is still too naive. Thinking I wouldn't notice her like that, Lion Cosmo turned quickly and pointed it at you. But before I could finish, she turned around and ran away without looking back. Good, what's wrong with you? After pursuing to a corner, Leon Cosmo really lost his trail, could not avoid sighing at children's moods. Are really impredictables. It is not surprising that this dragon made me responsible for child care. Little did he know he well appeared behind Leon Cosmo. Taking advantage of Leon Cosmo's inattention, she hugged her waist tightly. Dude caught Daddy. At the sight of his daughter, Lion Cosmo was astonished and beat him. He have not just run from the front, but Moon seemed confused. No, Dad never came to look for Moon, so Moon came to look for Daddy. Hearing this, Lion Cosmos, he thought he could have been wrong later. Moon wanted to take Lion Cosmo to see something ahead. The girl who had fled earlier watched them from afar, squeezing his little fists with rage. Lion Cosmo followed Moon into a garden, watching her draw seriously. His soul was felt much more than anything else. Having a daughter is wonderful, but at the thought of Rose Wise, Lion Cosmos was enraged. Someday Daddy will pull you out of that dragon's clutches. Soon die. Lifted his finish drawing and ran towards Leon Cosmo. Dad, look at the family portrait drawn by Neiman. Before watching, Leon Cosmo praised his daughter for drawing as well. But when Leon Cosmo took it and looked at the drawing, discovered that the family portrait had 4 people, then pointed to one of the little girls and Gwen. Why, there are 2 children in the drawing. Gwen said that was his sister. As soon as I finished speaking, Lion Cosmo was immediately confused. How I didn't know Gwen had a sister. It turned out that Lion Cosmo not only hit the target with a single shot, but scored a double. It is not surprising that when he dies by mistake, the sister's name in the garden before, she will get very angry and run away, but well, even comforted Leon Cosmo. Well, thinks the sister is not angry. I was probably just shy to see Dad. When Lion heard this, Lion Cosmos thought it made sense. It was normal for them not to know each other, because he had never met his eldest daughter. Lion Cosmos looked toward the distant temple of the Silver Dragon. Why would that dragon hide something so big from me? I must find it, and ask clearly. At the Rose Wise studio, she was driving political affairs of the Silver Dragon clan. Suddenly the sound of outside caught his attention. Leon Cosmo opened the door and shouted his name. Before Leon Cosmo could speak, she asked him why he's not so good to you. Of course he went to play with his sister. Lion Cosmo questioned her. Why you hid the existence of my eldest daughter from me? Her Rose White. He smiled indifferently. Now you know not to see it. His attitude showed that he had no remorse. Cosmo Lion was immediately furious. Really? I should thank you for working so hard to give me 2 children. When I return to my homeland, I will definitely write your name, Rose Wise, in my family genealogy. After hearing this, his face looked somewhat. And with pride, you know. Why didn't I tell you about my eldest daughter's existence? I think you are jealous that they die, and I are very close. So don't let it come and recognize me as his father. When listening to Lion Cosmo to say this, Rose's expression Wise became serious. So eager to meet Node, isn't it obvious? How can I not meet my own daughter? I am different from you, this cold and sick mother. I want to build a good relationship with her. But in Rose Wise's face showed a mischievous appearance. It's okay, but don't regret it. Then in the kitchen, Cosmo Lion planned to use junk food as the first step in getting closer to her eldest daughter Rose Wise. Just look at me today. Cosmo Lion cooked a pot of green fragrant. Stu had prepared this dish for his teen before. The taste sweet was especially suitable for children. Only by smelling this aroma, knew that his skills, culinary dishes had not rusted. I will definitely concur no. Leon Cosmo could already imagine that happy scene. However, this scene was also seen by two maids outside. Your Highness has just recovered from a serious illness, but cooks personally for his family. He is really a good male dragon, family-oriented. At that time Rose Wesley approached driving two daughters herself, instructed the two servants who could rest. Do not need to be present during dinner today. Thank you His Majesty. Lion Cosmos carrying the pot. You arrived at the perfect time. We can now eat. Very good Granddaddy. What does he smell so good? I heard that you two love to eat meat. So I prepared, especially stew, and for you. With that Cosmo Lion seemed expectant. No, you feel Daddy's care. But found it, walking away with displeasure, even snorting coldly. Seeing this, Lion Cosmos was confused. What it was like completely different from what I had imagined. Looking at Rose Wise' mischievous smile up close, Cosmo Lion guessed that she had anticipated this situation. That's why she never let him meet No. At that time Rose Wise had his eldest daughter introduce herself. Today is your first formal meeting with Daddy. Yes, mother. No walked proudly towards Lion Cosmo with hands on hips. I'm Rose Wise, the eldest daughter of the Silver Dragon Queen. No milk 1 year and 2.5 months. Lion Cosmo quickly crouched down to shake hands with his daughter. He know I'm Lion Cosmo, your daddy. Thought his polite greeting would make a good impression on her, but No just gave him a disdainful oh. Has this girl something against me? His attitude is so cold to see this. Muon quickly No's hand and whispered, Sister, talk more, don't make Daddy feel uncomfortable. Unexpectedly No lifted his little hand directly. He seems so weak. Is really our dad. Listening to these two line phrases, Cosmos became so angry that spat blood on the spot, as if a sword sharp would have his heart. What an obedient daughter I have. The father's career. Cosmo Lion had just faced its first crisis. This had become his most tortuous because the Lion Cosmo discovered that although the two daughters were twins, they were twins. Their personalities were completely opposite. No was obviously like his mother. He answered No expectantly. You like the food Dad made? For your surprise, she looked in displeasure and let out disgusting. This was the second blow that Leon Cosmo received from her today. To see Leon Cosmo being rejected by a Rose Waste could not help but laugh out loud. Muon looked curious. Why he is so happy. Mom, today, she smiled and said to Muon. Finally your dad was reunited with our entire family. Seeing him so happy naturally makes me happy too. You don't think, Lion, because you are no longer smiling. At this time, Lion Cosmos, I really wanted to teach this mother a lesson. Dragon, but could only force an arrow. Being with my family makes me really happy. At that moment Muon raised her little hand and suggested. Then can Dad dine with us every day from now on? Although Leon Cosmo did not want to have dinner with his mother, Dragon every day could not disappoint Muon. Before Leon Cosmo could speak, No actually spat on 2 words. In no way. Muon looked at her sister in confusion. Why not? It turned out that No wanted to go to the dragon kindergarten at the Saints. Sister Rose Ways couldn't help but feel disconcerting. They're all dragons are 5 years old. Why are you in such a hurry to sign up? You are only 1 year and 2.5 months old. But No said he wanted to register early to defeat more dragon hunters. This statement almost made Leon Cosmo while eating. So his eldest daughter wanted to be his old father. Then Lion Cosmo told No. Dragon hunters are very fierce. You are so small, you will hurt yourself. Oh. Trying to persuade her to abandon this idea, but she was again. Don't treat me like a child. I am not as weak as you are. After understanding No's true thoughts, Rosewise actually agreed. She believed that learning skills early would allow to confront dragon hunters sooner or later. Then he looked at Leon Cosmo with a smile. I'm right. Leon, or do you have any reason to prevent No go to school? Even if Leon Cosmo was now furious, if he opposed No he would be even more deceived. It seemed that he could only change his mind gradually. In the end, Leon Cosmo also agreed with this matter. After seeing his plan succeed, Roseways was secretly delighted. Leon Cosmo finally realized that this mother dragon wanted to use No to launch an attack mentally against him during this dinner. Thinking about this, Rose couldn't help but burn with anger. Wise just wait, then called to advise No the entrance exam for the Saint. Yes. Will be in 1 month. During this month, let your dad help you get ready. No was seriously sorry after hearing this. As the family dinner continues, Muon showed his sister his little full belly. Seeing that Rosways was about to get up and go, Lion Cosmo quickly called him and pointed to the dining room table, saying this has not yet been cleaned. Rosways was stunned to hear this from the worthy Silver Dragon Queen needs to wash dishes. These issues can be left to the servants, but Lion Cosmo told him that the warm and harmonious way of the family is that the husband and wife clean and wash dishes together after dinner. then approached his ear and whispered, "You also want to create a family atmosphere, harmonious in front of your daughters, isn't it? Now is a good opportunity." Roseway Will looked at Nguyen's expectant little eyes and finally chose to commit himself side without being able to do more. "Then let's clean up together." Hearing this, Nguyen raised his hand to say that she also wanted to help. What a nice daughter daddy has. But noted directly, "Sister, where are you taking me?" After Roseway finished washing dishes, he was a little upset and asked Leon Cosmo, "When would you come to help?" Leon Cosmo looked at her seriously. "You remember what I told you 2 years ago? Never be alone with a powerful dragon hunter." After saying this, the dragon mark on Rosewell Castle began to with a purple light. Quickly turned around and ended up, "Leon Cosmo, what do you want? Do you no longer know what I want to do? Before in the mirror was controlled by your dragon brand, you treated me like an angel, but now things are different." But Roseway, it was thought that Leon wanted to use this trick to escape, so he immediately threw his tail at him. After Lion easily blocked this attack with his fist, immediately his dragon's tail, who said he was trying to escape. At that time Roseway, he could not help but let out a delicious cry. His little face turned red instantly. "You bastard can't. Her Majesty the Queen use her strength now." True. At this time Leon held its tail with an expression on his face. This was due to the fact that the dragon more could make the Roseway's tail was incredibly sensitive. Now she was just a little dragon at the mercy of a lion, although this was also thanks to the new knowledge that I thought of the Dragon Clan books. He closed his face to the one in raw space. "You dragons long to conquer and control everything, but has ever been conquered. Today I will leave you experience what it feels like to be conquered." Raw space was breathing with difficulty and demanded that lion loosen its tail. But how could I, Leon, to miss such a good opportunity today? Since the last time I woke up, my dignity has been trampled under your feet. You often make fun of from me too. How about reversing the papers tonight? Rose Wesley was both embarrassed and angry. "You will die a horrible death." Just then, the steps of 2 servants were heard outside the door. I wonder if Her Majesty the Queen and her love time after dinner has already finished. As soon as they opened the door, were by the dining room, Bling and Tai in front of them. Even the dishes are so bright. Must have been cleansed by their Royal Highness the Prince. However, the conversation between the 2 maids was fully heard by them. Hidden in the desert, when I saw that Rosby wanted to make a noise, Leon immediately his chin. "You wouldn't want to." The maids outside to discover the Queen, normally haughty in its present state. True, until the 2 maids came out of the rose dining room. Wise did not issue sound. "My dear wife, we did well." "Well, now let's start." Arrived on the 3rd day, the 2 daughters were looking at the lion, already being unconscious in bed. "Dad has been unconscious for 3 days. He is not dead, is he?" "No," said. "Let's try to find out." After saying this, she stepped on the lion's face, making him die in pain. She embraced his little hands and said mischievously, "Not yet completely dead." Leon was speechless when he heard this. "That's how you treat your own father." When Nguyen saw Lion open his eyes, he looked very happy, turned to Roseway, not far away, and shouted, "Mom, Dad is away." Leon seemed completely confused at the time. When he lost consciousness, Roseway looked at Lion with cold eyes. "You need me to help you, remember?" As soon as they stopped talking, Lion all of a sudden recalled that after the great battle playing that night, the dragon mark became ineffective and Lion was severely hit him. Leon couldn't help but sigh. This dragon was really ruthless. If I were an ordinary person, would have died several times under their claws. Simply looked in silence at Rose's profile, Wise, and found that she was quite beautiful despite that she was already a dragon more than 200 years old. Old Miyuan looked at Lion in confusion. "Dad just woke up. Why it does not move?" No, snorted with disdain. "He's just looking at mother. Like a fool." At that time, Roseway threw the hair ornament off the table. Leon quickly crouched down to pick it up, then put it on, carefully wanting to establish the image of a good husband in front of her. "This hair ornament looks great on you." "Good, but Roseway turned his head with a malicious smile. "You really have a side, understanding you haven't done this for other women before." In the face of his mockery, Lion would not let himself be carried away. "Of course, I took care of the burra of my teacher for 2.5 years when I was young. I am quite skilled at it." "Very good." Next to it, I looked at the lion in the mirror and found him. "Daddy, what is a donkey?" Then Lion made vivid gestures for her. "A donkey is similar to a dragon with 2 ears and a tail. But when he likes grunt and bray like you." Mom, as soon as I finished talking, Roseway immediately looked at the lion with fury, then gave him a fierce elbow, making Lion scream. "Oh, when you see this," Nguyen came out worried. "Daddy, you are." "It is fine." At this time, Roseway was given a homework assignment by the 2 daughters, asking him to Dad to teach them how to write their names. Nguyen seemed very happy to hear this, "And I can play with Dad again." But he did not appear upset. "I can write alone. I don't want you to teach me." Before I could finish speaking, Nguyen excitedly took her to the studio to find beautiful colored brushes. After the two daughters left Roseway, Lian was told that his sister, I would come to visit her today and demanded that Lion could only accompany his daughter and couldn't go anywhere else. Lion smiled maliciously in the face of this. Why don't you dare let me meet your sister? She came straight to the lion's ear. Lian Cosmo, know your place. You are just a dragon, male who married the Silver Dragon clan. You are not yet qualified to meet my family. If the time comes when you must meet them, you must also act in agreement with the identity I have prepared for you. You understand it? Understood, Her Majesty the Queen. However, Lian was just superficially appeasing her. Looking at the figure of Roseway, I know he was walking away. Lian already had other ideas in his heart. Do you really think I will listen to you obediently, Dragna? Definitely you. I'll embarrass you in front of your lion sister. Arrived at the hall of study of the children of the Silver Dragon Temple, showing his two precious daughters to write their names. Lian delivered the roll, written to their daughters, asking them to first imitate the calligraphy. Yu only wagged his little tail. But No was still looking in front. Picked up the paper, and looked at it, then said, "Not as pretty as Mom's handwriting." Lian was already used to his attitude. Then Lion got up to prepare to do something. Manos asked Lion exactly what he was going to do, and he made up an excuse, saying that he had forgotten to give something to his mother before, and wanted to compensate it for double. Before Lion left, he did not forget to remember the two daughters. Dad will check again later. No, whispered to Muon. He's an idiot, but Muon smiled and told him, sister, you look happy. The Noah quickly denied this. No way, let's write fast. But his little face was red, and felt especially warm inside. The interest Hanto. At the gates of the Silver Dragon Temple, the Queen, Red Dragon Aisha Melby, had arrived. She was wearing red clothes, beautiful and noble, and had a perfect figure. Roseway actively embraced her. Sister, how long without seeing you at? She began to chat cordially. I missed you so much, dear sister. You look much more radiant after not seeing you for a year. When Roseway heard this, she touched her little blushing face. Seriously, I don't think so, Asha, with confusion. I heard that your husband has woken up. Why didn't you come out to receive me? Ross Wise smiled uncomfortably. He feels a little bad today, so he can't meet you for now. And she was already a little remorseful to hear this. Still wanted to see how. Looks like the Dragon King who took my sister likes her. She smiled mischievously and brought her face closer. The unions of the Dragon Kings have always been for profit and clan interests. No love involved. But you and your husband got married and had children so quickly. Your relationship must be very good. Truth. After hearing this, Roseway turned her head with arrogance. Getting married and having children represents a good relationship. I am not in love with him, neither now nor ever will I be. At the sight of her blushing little face, Aisha knew that his sister was still as ever. Then Rose Vice took Aisha by the arm, getting ready to walk in, chatting together in the garden. The figures of the two queens, dragon, were constantly guarded by Lion. So this is Rose Vice's sister. At this time, Lion decided to activate the dragon mark to see how far his influence could go. After chatting with his sister for a while, Aisha spoke about recent events. The dragon's territory has not been very stable lately, especially that Crimson Flame Dragon King guy has been quite active. Rose White suddenly frowned as Constantine. I remember that it has not been shown in many years, and already thought he was originally a kind of bad temper and could want to take advantage of the opportunity to expand its own territory. Just then, the dragon mark on Rose White's chest reacted by shining with a purple light. His expression suddenly turned gloomy. Damn it, at all times it has to be now. She quickly. I thought, what happened if he felt bad somewhere? Rose Wise was forced to endure the dragon brand's reaction to his smile, and smiled at his sister. It's nothing. Please continue. Although it seemed quiet on the outside, it was already cursing the lion in his heart. Damn dragon hunter. You really have no limits just to upset me. Aisha continued speaking, just in case. We need to strengthen border defenses. If there are new developments there, I will also send messenger dragons to contact you. But Rosewise wasn't listening at all alone. I felt that the effect of the dragon's mark was getting stronger and stronger. If this is continued, and turned his head and left with concern. Rosie, you look really good. Why your face is so red? Rose Vice was uncomfortable at all times, and quickly told his sister that he had something urgent to attend to, asking him to wait 20 minutes before he returned. Go fast. You want me to accompany you? I don't need. Sister. After Roseway, Aisha left, covered her mouth and smiled mischievously. So it is the mark of the dragon. Today's youth play quite creatively. On the other hand, Lian was comfortably lying in the sun. Little dragon, let me see how long you can suddenly hold on. Rose Wesley broke up with murderous intent, scaring the lion in the act. How you came back so fast? She angrily the lion's clothing. I thought the dragon mar will resonate on purpose at this time, just to make a fool of myself, in front of my sister, right? You. Seeing his smile, fierce lion made a pitiful expression, and said, it's wrong to miss you. What a white rose. He unconsciously let go of his hand. His face turned red instantly. Something especially evident against fair skin. And his heart also beats strongly. She covered her mouth and stepped back a few steps. Lian felt a little bit of a drag on the inside. It seems that the effect is quite good. At least now she's upset with me, right? Unexpectedly, Rose Wise began to mock the lion. How shameless a defeated prisoner it is, saying words so. Save your perverted thoughts. It's strange I clearly came to deal with him. But if some way he let me be fooled by his few words, the more I look at this guy the nicer he gets. Rose White turned her head and snorted coldly. You are lucky this time. If there's one next time I won't let you go. Lian was making small gestures behind her. I am so scared. After Rose Wise's left lion touched his chin and sighed. It seems that this dragon mark effect is still very strong. But why my little heart beats so fast every time I think of his lion face. Quickly slapped himself in the face, trying to force herself to calm down. Don't think about things unnecessary. The two daughters are still waiting for him to return. At that time Very was getting a little bored, waiting for why daddy hasn't come back yet. Noah was seriously practicing writing. On the other hand, at the gates of the temple of the silver dragon, the queen, red dragon Isha, was about to go home, said goodbye to his sister with some regret. Next time you must allow me to meet your husband. It's okay. We will talk about it next time. Be careful on the road. Sister Roseways was finally saying goodbye to his sister, and I couldn't be in. Has already been instantly transformed again, in the shape of a red dragon, and flew away from the temple with his guards. Dragon with a buzzing sound after seeing his sister. Departing, Roseways immediately made a serious face. Damn dragon hunter, I haven't told you, disciplined enough. Tonight I must punish you properly. At the same time Lion sneezed loudly in his room, thinking that dragon must be cursing me again. Looking at the two daughters who had already stayed, sleeping in the lion bed, reflectively tucked them in, and came out of the room on tiptoe. But suddenly a thin jade hand knocked on the door with a peace sound. Rose Weiss looked at Lion with displeasure. Where do you think you are going? Lion turned around and smiled clumsily. It's over. This dragon has come for revenge. Nowhere in particular. Well, your sister let. Rusbe gritted her teeth in anger. We still do not have some pending issues today. Let me reward you properly. Come with me. After saying this, the lion, to the bedroom, regardless of whether he was willing or not. Tonight will not be another battle. Human dragon truth. The result was that he was asked a lion to bring a container of hot water. Just when Lian wondered why he wanted hot water, for Rose Wise slowly spread her eyes. Lazy with slight eyebrow fatigue. I am tired of walking today. Quick, help me wash my feet. Lian was stunned to hear this. Wash your feet? Don't even dream it. Roswell looked at Lion with the attitude of a queen. Stop talking. I'm telling you to do it. So do it. This is a punishment for what happened today. If you don't want to lie in bed, I have other ways to punish you. The helpless lion had no choice but to obey, gently lifting his foot to remove his heels. I never thought I was the strongest of dragon hunters. Now I would become the footstool of a dragon. Rose Weiss noticed that the lion was still watching his feet and smiling at the corners of his mouth. This boy, I couldn't be a real pervert. Just thinking about it is disgusting. She panicked and shrugged instinctively his lion feet. Suddenly his foot so abruptly and strongly and pressed everything into the water. By being scalded by boiling water in this way, Roseway cried out in pain. You are scalding to death. Lian, damn you. As she spoke, she knocked the lion to the ground with one foot, his wrath on fire. Immediately made it, stepping on the lion's toy with his foot, asking him if he was dissatisfied and wanted to deliberately take revenge on her. At the sight of Rosewise, Lion's angry smile smiled. You are not you who asked me to help you wash your feet. When seeing the expression in front of the lion, decided to teach him a lesson. Then his righteous fingers down the balcony, from lion to his chest, to paint some pressure, and the lion's face turned red at that moment. Here, dragon, stop. Sniff. Ross wheezed coldly. I want to see how long this can take. Then Lian Rosewise foot, without hesitation, by showing a malicious appearance. I have never eaten dragon hooves in my life. She was surprised to hear this. What do you want to do? Before I could finish talking, Lion hit directly with his large white teeth. Extra dinner tonight and raw dragon claw. I have to say, after washing it well, it tastes quite fragrant. The next second, Rose's magic screams, Wesley, echoed throughout the dragon's chest. Lian, I will kill you. The next morning both daughters woke up. Win rubbed his big watery eyes in confusion. Mother, why? You limped when walking, and why is there a bandage on your foot? Then he looked again at his lion's swollen face. Dad, why do you have bruises all over your face? After seeing that they both said it was nothing, Muin began to twist his little head, and suddenly he realized, excitedly raising her little hand. You must have been hiding from Muin to play some fun game. Muin wants to join and play together. At the look of his sister's innocent smile, Noah was speechless. What a naive child can participate in this type of adult game. Rose Weiss took the initiative to bring the lion to the garden for a walk, but they kept their distance and did not say to each other a word. Two dragons watched from afar. The queen and the prince are on a date. But why does it seem that His Majesty, the queen and the prince do not know each other very well? Don't be silly, they already have 2 little princesses. How they might not know each other? The reason why they are, so now it is because half an hour ago Rose Spy took the initiative to suggest that Lian out for a walk with her. Lian was very surprised by this. His reason was to maintain the harmony of a family, harmonious in front of others, and she said that this was also what Lian should do, but Lian always felt that something was not right with her. I have never been so proactive before. Could be up to something new. Unexpectedly the appointment was witnessed by the 2 daughters. Myuan complained with disappointment, Dad is so dumb. Doesn't even know how to hold hands. Myuan will go to help them. By saying this he clenched his fists and ran. Wait, let them have their time alone. Before Noja could finish talking, Myuan had already run away. Mom, Dad. Lian turned his head and discovered it was Myuan. She ran. And Lion, playing with sadness why Myuan had followed them, but without saying a word, took the hands of Lion and Ruthwise, left and right, then put them together. Their mom and dad must still hold hands, so while walking, after saying this she left, jumping to get his sister to play. Lian could not avoid wonder where Myuan learned this knowledge from. Noda, her sister's chubby cheek. You did it on purpose. Myuan was Jason serialized object. Wrong, I won't dare to do it again, sister. Please let me go. Lian and Ross Weiss held hands, feeling as if an electric current flowed through her palms and all over her body. The face of Rose By. She turned red. Let's keep holding hands like this. It was probably the first time in its 200 years of life who held a man's hand, and today it seemed particularly kind, which made Lion feel a little uncomfortable. She thought she had already tamed a lion, and now that I was being nice to him, felt uncomfortable. At that time the 2 daughters were hidden behind a tree, secretly observing. Mayuan smiled sweetly. Rosavis has always maintained an image of a queen in the face of others. I never expected him to get excited about something so simple, how to hold hands. Perhaps her image as a mother, severe as Juju, simply does not know how to approach children. Lian beat him. Why you make both daughters forget you? Mother in your face. Rose White frowned. Is there a problem with that? Lian told him according to normal teaching. Mom and dad use each other as a couple. Myuan always calls me daddy, but calls you mother, which makes them seem more distant from you. Rose White murmured. There really is a big difference between mother and mother. Then Lion smiled and made a bet with her. If you let Myuan and Noja change the way they call you mom, you will see if they will be more willing to approach you than they are now. Rose Wise suddenly had an expression of realizing it. I will try next time. As he was saying this he pulled forward. Suddenly he asked Lion if he missed home. However, he could not let Lion return, but there was something I could do to ease the lion's throat a little. Upon reaching the gate of the castle behind the temple, Rosewise pulled out a bunch of keys, saying that the thing was inside the mirror. After seeing this scene in front of the lion, exclaimed, "This is the treasure of a dragon." Truth. Lion examined carefully a finely crafted bracelet. His eyes lit up. This could sell for at least hundreds of thousands of gold coins in the empire. Rose Vice explained that this is a bracelet that Mai gave me for my coming of age ceremony. In addition to the spoilers of war, there are also some things here that are significant to me. When he heard this, Lion felt some sadness. Apart from your sister, I have never heard you mention of other family members. It turned out that Rose Wise had never seen his parents since childhood. She and her sister were raised by their grandmother. Lian felt that his situation was similar to his own, because he grew up in an orphanage and he had never seen his parents either. His teacher and his teacher's wife adopted him. Lian then replied to Rose Wise, "What exactly? You wanted to show me by bringing me here." He saw her open a treasure chest. Inside there is something that can make you forget temporarily your lion problem. Looked inside the box and his eyes opened wide. Even for the surprise was his companion, the battle armor Black Gold, from whom he had been separated for 2 years. An armor made by the best craftsmen of the empire that had accompanied Lion through countless battles by blocking fatal injuries to him on numerous occasions. Felt like I was dreaming. "You are really going to give it to me?" Rose Was showed a malicious appearance. So try it on." But as soon as Lion touched the helmet, it made a sound, unexpectedly buzzing. She had discovered a brand of sub-dragon in battle armor Black Gold. It seemed that his good brother had also fallen. Lion looked at her with clenched teeth and fangs in the air, but this dragon laughed. "Lian, you finally fell into my trap. Improved dragon brand is twice as defective." Rose Wise gently lifted the lion's chin. "My dear dragon hunter, you can handle it today." A huge dragon brand stamp actually appeared underneath him feet. Lian immediately questioned what she had done. Rose Wei showed a triumphant trajectory. "I have added a dragon brand that improves attributes on the surface of your armor. The moment you touch the armor is activated." Lian suddenly felt the restlessness in his chest where the dragon mark was becoming more intense. "I was careless." Small and ingenious dragon, however. Ross Weiss simply smiled with disdain. 2 dragon marks, twice as much experience. Slowly bent down and lifted the chin of Lian with his hand. "My dear dragon princess, you can handle this." Rose Weiss. With a paw sound, she pushed the lion to make it look like it lying on the ground. Damn, his body could not move at all. Rose Weiss smiled. How about my performance was not bad, was it? Lian could not help but yell at him. Were all those things you told me today false? You like me never saw your parents. You let Mew and Hinoja call you mama and hold hands. All that was real. I don't understand. I like to conquer. Ha, that's true. After a period of battle between humans and dragons, Lian could not avoid shedding tears is finally over. She silently admired the face, but handsome Lian. Lian couldn't help but ask what he wanted to do. You still look as good as you did 2 years ago. The smile on your face has faded a little, but you have gained some fatigue and vicissitudes, giving you more attractiveness as a mature man. While he was talking, the lion's face of the simple touch had already lit the fire in the lion's heart. Lian playing his last little of rationality and turned around. And you want to humiliate me again? I will not fall more in your dragon or roast waste schemes, snorted. You've become smart so quickly, but when you hear but. Lian instinctively turned his head to look at her. She smiled playfully. Your body really isn't what it used to be. What a lion, your body really isn't what it used to be. It's not what it used to be, what it used to be, it used to be. Series the next morning. Lian was awakened by knocking on the door, put on his clothes, and drowsy went to open them. Thought it was Muin, but outside the door were Roswell and Noja, the donkey and his donkey daughter. At the sight of Lian's eyes, Roswell greeted him courteously. Good morning. It looks like you didn't sleep well last night. Lian gritted his teeth in anger. It's not because of what I thought. She seemed triumphant. That's how I don't remember it. Little No. Behind her could not help but complain internally. Here they go again. Lian looked at Rose. Why, something is wrong. Did not say no. I wanted to attend the Young Dragon Division of Senseis. That has very strict entrance exams. From today you need tutoring Noah well in the knowledge of the Dragon Clan, while he bowed to the lion's ear and whispered. After all, considering your current physical condition, for now you can only bring value in other areas. When he heard this, Lian was furious. Heck, the truth is that yesterday I was in bad shape. Definitely, I will make him fail the exam, but in return I want to exchange this for something of equal value. After a brief consideration, Rose Base made a concession. They can be. Agree with that, but your demands cannot be excessive, of course. Treatment made. Rose Base smiled humbly and said goodbye with a gesture. Then study hard, both of you. Before leaving, she added another blow. Oh, by the way, dear, don't forget. Dragona, are you ever going to stop? After Rosewise left, Noah looked confused. Why, you were arguing with Mom. We were not discussing, only daily communication. Hey, wait a minute, what did you call her Mom? Unexpectedly not. To change the way in which he addressed her to Mom, the lion's eyes were illuminated with emotion. As he bent down in front of No, he asked you to change what you call her. Do you prefer the old form or the current form? No seriously understands the current form. I knew it. You would definitely like it, even if it is a dragon. Is a bit intriguing. Its efficiency is quite good. Noah looked at the lion that had suddenly turned inexplicably happy, and felt a little parental love in his heart. Then saidly as he ran. When can we start studying, No? Slowly, wait for me. Lion was ready to teach No properly. This is how it stayed in the children's study room until late at night. At that moment, Ross Weiss entered the room. Oh, you still don't sleep so late, Lion? Playing with a voice off, trying to keep calm, because No has strong learning and comprehension skills. Simple teaching is no longer suitable for her. I plan to organize some key knowledge points, combined with test questions to teach you. Thank you for giving birth our daughter in such a clever way. That's why I'm sure that I can get the test passed in a month. Ross Weiss laughed mockingly. That's natural, No looks like. Why, Lion smiled slightly when he heard this. That's not necessarily true. I used to graduate in the first place in both annual competitions and in practical combat, and won all the top-level scholarships at the Dragon Hunters. Until my hands softened. Then Lion looked into Ross Weiss's eyes. And you, Her Majesty the Queen. What breasts you have, Rose. Wise was speechless at Lion's response. I really did not expect that Lion was an academic genius. I had always thought he was just a brute, who only knew how to fight and kill. Yet I would never praise the lion to his face. When asked by Lion Roseway, he moves coldly. So amazing then. How come he still became my prisoner? This statement directly broke the lion's defense. A mistake leads to eternal repentance. A declining tiger is harassed by Rusby's dragon. Laughed, covering his mouth. You are afraid of being harassed by dragons. Suddenly his gaze noticed the yellow Charlie on the table, frowned and came out to Lion. What was Lion using it for? Told him that she was taken from the kitchen to keep herself. Alert awaits. This is a child delay. Dragon Clan, you as a human, you probably can't handle it. Before I could finish speaking, Lion had already bitten and chewed. His face got instantly red by the specious pervert who brought intense stimulation. Felt as if someone I would have put a piece of burning corn in his mouth. What a water. "There is water here." Lion searched all over the children's room, but could not find anything. Suddenly Roseways unexpectedly took the lion's face with both hands, forcing the lion to turn its head to look at it, but this made the lion's face even redder. She looked at Lion. "Something shyly could. My hands are relatively cold, so it should make you feel more comfortable with their fingertips were frost and cold. The places they played felt really very comfortable, unlike ice cubes that were bitterly cold and stimulating, but rather a soft freshness." Soon Lion thanked him, saying that his mouth no longer felt Rose Boy, his hands, but the atmosphere at this moment seemed incredibly uncomfortable. Finally turned around with arrogance and left. "Remember to rest early. Don't eat too much, Childs. If your mouth becomes too much and damaged, you will have to use sign language to teach." "No. It's okay." I found it looking at it, his figure as it drifted away. Leon had a strange thought in his mind. I really wanted Rose White to touch her face more. Just thinking about it felt a little perverted. I don't need to be clear. She is the evil one, dragon who tricked me in a corner and exploded in me. Madly at the end he said that my resistance was poor. After growling angrily, Lion returned to his desk, wanting to find some ways to help your body to recover quickly. So Lion began to peek through medical books. The fruit of the red-footed dragon has the effect of regulating ki and blood is not present. The internally taken ghostly lotus cell can regulate function either. Suddenly a medicine called Power of Dragon caught the lion's attention. After reading about its effects, the lion's eyes shone. This is. The next day, Leon unable to qualify nose exam. The full score is 100%. Guess how much you got? No, 50%. Leon looked at her. Is 62 more than you expected? Unexpectedly, Noah clenched his little fists angrily. Looked like she had high standards to herself. At an age when he should be playing unconcernedly as Muan. "I would like to go to school voluntarily." Leon gave him a miraculous slap on the head to obtain 62 points on your first attempt. It is already incredible. Young dragons your age wouldn't even be exposed to test questions of this difficulty. Is really difficult. Noah said in a low voice 2 words, "Thank you." Now let's focus on reviewing these questions. Incorrect, but suddenly, Leon couldn't stop coughing. "Sorry. Noah, wait for me a moment. It was because I had eaten too many childs last night." What made him feel uncomfortable with the smile? Noah remembered what his mom had told him this morning. "Your dad was working on a plan of studies for you last night. That fool may seem unreliable as a rule, but he is actually an academic genius nevertheless. He ate yellow peppers, Dragon Clan specials, last night to stay awake. It would be strange if his grandmother was okay." Noah searched his gallery, then took out a box of dragon-throwing treasure here. Injection pills. Leon was immediately enchanted. Something incredulous to me. Ajumit's mom's, not me's. Leon smiled after hearing this. "Then help me thank your mom for this child." Just like Rose Wise looked cold on the surface. But in reality it was just not good. Expressing their lion feelings. Took a pill for the injection to soothe her voice and began teaching Noah in her studies. Getting a little closer to the father and daughter. After Lion discovered the miracle supplement called Dragon's Vigor in the medical book. Instructed the 2 dragon maidens to take the herbs they had discovered to the kitchen and even asked them to bring some materials, unrelated medicines, so that no one would guess what Lion planned to make. Although the ingredients for the dragon's vigor were, and the preparation steps were not complicated. The book said that even the dragon alchemists, skilled, had a rate of very low success in creating the dragon's vigor. However, this could not stop Leon the academic genius. First, ground and mixed the necessary foams, then added the materials to the pot, in the sequence and proportions suitable for the preparation. But after trying for several hours, Leon still failed. It really wasn't as simple as hen. Clearly followed the method of the book several times, but each attempt failed in the final step, purification and separation of the drug. The medical book described a method of high temperature separation. Too high a temperature would set the medicine on fire, while one that is too low would not allow the extraction of pure medicine. Manual Lion on its own could not achieve separation effect, and there was no professional team here. His teacher always said that if a row does not work, look for another one. Just when Lion was remembering other effective methods to separate, he suddenly impurities. The sky outside flashed with lightning, and it looks like it's going to rain soon, right? Leon went to close the window, still thinking about the lightning. And that's. Leon Ray recalled that his alchemy teacher used to say that the electrolyte separation sometimes had a higher success rate than fire. Perhaps you could try to use the element Truna for extraction, which was not mentioned in the book. In addition, Leon was the most skilled in element magic. Although his magical power had only recovered partially, was more than sufficient for this type of operation. Continues. 30 minutes later the dragon's vigor was created, practically per Lion, still quite isolated about himself, thinking that dragon medicines were really quite simple to make. But without him noticing, Mona had arrived to the kitchen and looked at the lion with emotion. "Daddy, what are you doing? That's a candy in your slow lion hand." To react was immediately surprised, and quickly gave him a patting him on the head, telling him it was nothing. This was not a candy, it was medicine. Daddy played a mom. Mono was stunned, and immediately stopped playing, asking how much mom is sick. No, I only saw that your mommy has been working too hard lately. This medicine is to nourish your body, so don't worry. Mona felt with apparent understanding. Then daddy, you have to take good care of mommy. Of course that's what dad should do, even though Leanne actually told Mo this. Once your body recovers, we'll definitely make that dragon mother pay. Soon a heavy rain fell out of the castle. Lion was already in bed, lost in thoughts, because the vigor of the dragon was a supplement, nutritional for dragons, and did not know if it would have negative effects on humans. Perhaps it would be better to keep it for now. Just when Lion was hesitating, someone suddenly knocks on the lion door. Hastily hid that dragon's vigor under his pillow, then told Rose wise, His Majesty, why has he come? She laughed softly and got straight to the point, asking, I heard of Moon who prefers special medicine. That looks like a chocolate candy, to regulate my body. Lion was somewhat speechless when he heard this. Her little quilted coat had leaked information so fast. Ross Ways approached with a smile, telling Lion not to be nervous. She was not here for questioning, just surprised that I could do medicine in conditions as rudimentary. What kind of medicine do you prefer? You can show it to me. As he spoke, he extended his little hand. Leon hesitated for a moment, but still pulled the dragon's vigor from under his pillow, because even if he said no, she would use violent methods to take it from her. After Rose Bice took it, observed it carefully. One is not bad to create vigor of the dragon with an orange collar, so perfect under these conditions. You really are awesome, she smiled, and Joe. What that saying was like again, both academically and martially. Listening to his words, Leon was stunned for a moment by this mother. Dragon didn't really make fun of him. I wasn't used to this. For a while, all of a sudden, Rose White changed her tone. You can keep it, but you can't eat it right now. With that, he threw the vigor of the dragon to the lion. Leon asked him why, something confused. Vigor. Dragon is too powerful for the bodies. Humans like a dragon, tonic said. Ross wheezed with a rather serious tone. I warn you out of kindness. As a human, you cannot restrict his power. Leon brought out the dragon's vigor and looked at her seriously. Dragon power. And that I have defeated countless kings. Dragons, how could a small pill kill me? Rothwees, don't underestimate me. How? The seventh line, the dragon got him. I live in the mouth and swallowed it. Courage is the hen of humanity. As Lion ate it too fast, Rose Weason was unable to stop him in time. The next second, Leon suddenly felt a burning sensation in his stomach, grabbing the belly and half kneeling, while the burning sensation instantly spread throughout his body. Rose Weason next to her was extremely anxious. You are a bastard. My magic of healing is not yet very competent. Watching Lion gritting teeth and enduring pain without emitting a sound, she placed her hand over the lion's waist and one. Instantly a soft, magnetic energy current flowed from his palm to the lion's body while trying to help him break down the effects of the lion pill. Then the Rose Moose doll nervously told him not to move. Look carefully, Queen. Silver Dragon, this is courage and human determination. The lion's hand on his chest burst with a pink-white lightning bolt. Woos looked completely using lightning magic in his own body. What is he being? After a moment, the brightness of lightning magic in Lion gradually faded, and his body was about to collapse. Rose Wise quickly held the lion with her hands, then laid him gently on the bed. How crazy. Just when I was about to find a doctor from that cut, as soon as he turned over his hand, Lion spread rapidly, and its tail of dragon. She turned to see him smiling, stunned without a focus eyes and a blushing chest. Just as I was about to ask what was going on, he directly hugged her tail and stroked her fondly. Listen to where you're going. Rose Way's face turned red. Who is your ass? Let me go try. The lion's face with his hands, but it was painful. I won't let my love go. Rose Whitesea pushed his head away, groaning. Sensitive moves without dragon vigor only had body strengthening effects, so it should not. There may be symptoms of mental confusion. That lightning magic has now changed the effects of the drug. However, seeing that this idiot, Leon, was not in immediate danger of death, she simply let him hold her tail. Yes. That's fine. I am here. Rose Wise could not really resist him. His face turned even redder. I still want a third child. With these words, his brain could hardly process it. You have not even taken good care of your first two children, and you want a third child. Give it to me to rest. I just want a third child. Oh. Leon continued to act pampered while embracing his tail. Rose Way covered her face in silence to avoid complications, thought it was better to follow what Lion was saying. They felt that the behavior Leon hampered was even more than usual. At that time, Lion frowned and approached her. Why, if you are so good to me, she quickly raised his hand to push the lion's face. Don't take advantage of me when the effect of this drug will disappear. Baby. As he spoke, he suddenly hit the lion in the face. Oops, I couldn't resist watching him grab it. The chest again with an expression of rose pain. Vice cared again and asked him if he was okay. Leon gritted his teeth and came out with difficulty. I'm still feeling a little uncomfortable. The next second, noticed that the dragon mark on his chest was shining before White Rose could react. Leon immobilized her oni tail. Smells also. I love Rose. I knew it couldn't go on like this. As I pushed the lion, he said helplessly, my tail. Laying on the ground all day, it does not disgust you to put it in your mouth. Lian directly pressed his finger, index finger on her lips, then looked at her with deep eyes. Oh, you look so beautiful tonight. She wanted to say something, but discovered that when the words reached her lips she could not say anything. What is happening? This man's attitude is completely different from just a moment ago. The next morning, Lion woke up from exhaustion. Extreme was surprised to find Rose Wei lying next to her pillow. She watched, in the eyes of a lion, with a proud expression. You are Wei. Last night's memories went through Lion's mind. Rose Wise smiled mischievously. You remember now. Last night you were the one begging me all the time. Now you should be very clear how good my body is. Rose wide his eyes, focused slowly leaning towards the lion. Lian wondered what he wanted to do. She the lion's chin, and stared at him. Their dragon pupils, charming and seductive silverware. I hope you can always maintain this state in the future. Hearing this, Lion suddenly realized that it looked like to have become part of the service industry. At that time, Ross Wise mentioned the previous report on changing the way they were managed to each other. His little face was a little blushing. You were too. Have you thought about what you want to order so easily? Lian scratched his head, saying that I had thought about it a long time ago. I hoped she could send someone to the Empire to verify his master, and the wife of his master, Ross Wise, touched his chin. Our clan of silver dragons, not very good at infiltration missions, but if it's just visiting people, that should not be a problem. Lian's eyes lit up when he heard this. Seriously, thank you very much. Shortly after Leon came to the garden of the Silver Dragon Temple to care for the little one, Lian she saw that Lion did not have good appearance. Dad is sick. Lian looked at Nguyen with an inexpressive expression. Name. Why do you ask? Lun proudly put her hands on her hips. Om told me everything. That day Dad took the medicine himself. Dad is a man and can't say he's sick. This made Lion feel extremely ashamed. That dragon even tells the children about this kind of thing. He doesn't need dignity, there's no dad. Better yet, was not strong enough. Medicine or dad ate very little. The questions were becoming inappropriate. Well noticed that the lion's mouth was bleeding and looked worried, approaching to hug him tightly. Good, can't live without daddy. Daddy don't die. Lion quickly smiled and stroked his head, saying it was fine. Hoot is in fact Rose Wise's daughter, is just like his mother and no crossing paths with words. Lian immediately changed the subject. How about Dad making you a new toy today? The eyes of the little princess lit up. Great, a good guy loves Asians more than anything else. Soon Lian had made a small and exquisite cube of Rubik and gave it to him. At a good permit, turn it around and play with it. Lian had discovered some simple linking principles playing in the training at school before. Never thought I would use it while baby today. Could be a natural saint born to care for children. Suddenly Lion felt the gaze of a dragon, thought it was Rose Wise, observing it in secret, but when he turned around, there was no trace of that dragon. Neil beat Lion what was going on, and Lion told him it was nothing. Recalled that in that direction it was where Noah was doing physical training, but that child would not come actively to join us. So Lion also made him a Rubik's Cube. When Noah returned to his room to sleep that night, watching Mule sleeping, she found that Lion had made a Rubik's Cube next to her with a note underneath. Up, paradise for Noah tried to figure it out. She complained with pride, idiot. I have no interest in boys who play young children, but he's still trying. Turn it a couple of times, feeling the clear mechanical sensation of clicks on your fingers. Noah's face turned a little red. However, thanks Daddy, the next day good. Noticed that his sister had been acting strangely lately, often hiding things in secret in a box under his bed. So while his sister was away, she secretly checked what good things were inside. Detective Moon activate inside. Found Rubik's Cube, fragments that had fallen from the war, black gold, and a note with his sister's name on it. They all seemed to be daddy-related things, didn't they? Gwen had an expression of sufficiency. There is still only one truth. In fact, the sister likes daddy. Before I could finish, Neil had already appeared behind her, directly covered Gwen's mouth, and tied it out, completely with bandages, holding the treasure chest with pride. Said not allowed to look. To create the appearance of a family of dragons, harmonious and loving, the Silver Dragon Queen decided to bring the whole family on a trip to the city of heaven. Her daughter was also about to start school and needed to buy some things. The street smarts was a noble among the dragon clan with standards, scholarships for student admission. The believed that it was already egg-laying, asexual or reproduction of a normal couple. Only the puppies raised in harmonious and loving families who defended the values of the dragon clan could produce qualified young dragons, and they only admitted those students. After the queen, Silver Dragon led the family to City of Heaven. Lian opened his arms on the ground, ready to catch on when it went down. She was expecting Dad. Why didn't you transform into a dragon just now? Good wants to see Daddy turn into a dragon. Lian could only smile clumsily, wanting to die. Good daughter, I am quite skilled in killing dragons, but transforming myself into one is out of the question. Seeing their lack of action, Noah crossed his arms and said quietly, you can't transform, can you? At the sight of the lion's panic scar, Rose Wei smiled calmly. Your dad's body hasn't recovered yet, so temporarily cannot transform into the form of a giant dragon. When Daddy's body recovers, we'll transform for you to see. It's okay then, Daddy, you need to improve fast, Daddy. We'll do its best. Although Lion knew it was impossible, Lion and Ross Weiss each held a daughter's hand while walked towards the entrance to the City of Heaven. Passing through the door meant officially entering this of the dragon. Everywhere they watched Dragon Clan members with Muon tails, and no, were also watching the scene for the first time. Lion couldn't help but swallow saliva and his legs were. Ross Weiss looked at Lion. This type is probably seeing so many dragons for the first time since he woke up from his coma, then laughed between teeth. How scared? Scared. I'm excited, don't you notice? Lion pointed the Dragon Clan citizens forward. A whole streak of achievement if I bring them back. Sir Rico. Ross Weiss covered his face in silence. Occupational disease of man and dog is acting again. His concern was unnecessary. Soon the family of four came to a photographic studio. The photographer was a middle-aged dragon wearing glasses. Welcome to Her Majesty Queen, Silver Dragon. I am honored to serve your family. Then the staff wanted to take them for a try-on clothes. Seeing the photos artistic everywhere, the two little princesses were delighted. Lian approached Rose Wise's ear and spoke softly. You are not the Silver Dragon Queen. Why you personally come to the store to take pictures? A dragon king of a clan can only send people from that clan, and dragons in the City of Heaven do not belong to any clan. In particular, Lian took the opportunity to joke with her. Then your queen status is quite low. To the next second, the lion leather shoe was stepped on by his heel. Fall rose gold. Baze continued to walk proudly forward. Anyway, my status is higher than yours. Selena's photographic skills were top-notch among the Dragon Clan. After exchanging greetings with the Queen Silver Dragon, upon learning that the lion did not like him show its tail, the Silver Dragon Queen chose a suit without a tail for Lian. In fact, before arriving at Sky City, Rose Weiss had tried to make Lion use a dragon tail accessory, but Lion refused, categorically, because it concerned his dignity as a dragon hunter. As an experienced photographer, Selena did not seem very surprised since she had quite a few members of the Dragon Clan who did not like it show their tails. After a while, the two daughters changed into beautiful dresses. When Lion dies in a white suit without a Muon tail, Anne was very excited and praised him, playing Daddy, he looks very handsome. Selena also thought the suit looked great on her. The Lion Prince must have been very popular before. However, the last time he wore a formal suit was at his school's graduation ceremony, when lower grade girls were lined up to give him gifts and invite him to dinner. But Lion rejected them all seriously. I still have to go back and miss the donkey for my teacher, next time for sure. His teacher was speechless to hear this, wondering if the lion's head had been kicked by a donkey. Resuming his thoughts, Lian looked at his eldest daughter, who was less talkative. Know what do you think? She averted her gaze shyly and said with excitement, is quite handsome. Lian advanced and patted them on the head. Her dresses are very nice too. Then Rose Weiss also changed his attire, was a black evening dress, with delicate contours that looked particularly charming in it. Lian's eyes noticed her, and at the sight of his gawking expression, he scratched his head clumsily and praised him, her dress saying it was very pretty. Ross Weiss showed a somewhat repentant expression. It would be nice if you had a tail. Keep dreaming, I will never stand in line in this life. At that time Muon signaled them to come quickly to take a family photo. Selena said courteously, we are ready to take pictures. Your Majesty, Your Highness, please come a little closer. But both were resistant in their hearts and still maintained some distance. Subsequently, under the guidance of Selena, Gwen intimate family photos finally taken. I was very happy today. Lian and Queen Silver Dragon also pretended to be amorous, making a heart shape with its tail. There were also pictures of them looking into each other's eyes. Sidima commented that they really looked like a married couple. The development of the photos would take 6 hours, so during this time the family decided to take a good tour of Sky City. The two small savages ran ahead of the hand, while Lion and Rose Wise followed them not far. Lion never thought that one day I would go shopping with this dragon. She proudly said that this was just to maintain the image of his family, and No really appreciated this entrance exam. Both of them have worked hard for 1 month for this. It is good to relax from time to time. Daughters were in a shooting range to the white of balloons with Muon's eyes shining while watching the teddy bears, but after that No took gun and fired several times. Not a single one hit the balloons. Lian was a little surprised. Have this type of shooting game here as well. At the sight of Noah's expression of displeasure, assumed that the results of the shot were not very good. Roswell. Noah was explained. The bullets from this toy pistol are collected of magnetic energy, which requires precise energy control. Is actually a little difficult for you. At that moment the owner of the stall called them. Would like to try it. Your daughter seems really want teddy bears as a prize. In fact, the owner of the stall let the children try to play to attract parents to be easy customers. Lian looked at his two daughters. Want those teddy bears though? They replied that no. Lion could see in their hearts that they really wanted them. So Lion asked the stall owner for 10 bullets. No way, we'll pay. The dragon was still somewhat surprised. Lian had not held a weapon in a long time. Last time was at the Bang Dragon Hunter. The first shot missed. The boss secretly laughed behind them, because he had already rigged his gun, so that whoever came could not easily to hit the targets. Little knew he who the next second, his eyes almost popped out of his head, because the remaining 9 bullets hit the target. I don't seem to have any bad luck. I tried the sight. The Alpine shot did not expect to hit all the others. Noah's and Mugen's eyes lit up. That is amazing. Ruse Y also rarely flattered him. It's not bad. The owner of the stall gave Lion 2 small teddy bears, internally waiting for Lion to leave quickly. Lion gave the teddy bears to his 2 daughters, respectively, and they thanked Dad. Rose Wise never waited. That although Lion was generally somewhat unreliable, every time he got serious, had a special charm. Suddenly she noticed that Lion had been looking at her. He actually saw that she was empty-handed. So he asked the stall owner for another 10 shots. Finally, taking revenge on the dishonest merchant. A mother dragon passing by with his daughter was also attracted to them. Mommy, I want that too. Rose Wise looked confused, holding a large teddy bear in its arms, then expressed some dissatisfaction. If I were handling this simply, I would advise you who do not waste time in such children's games, are here to have fun and be happy. What's up, you don't like it? Since we are here, we can't let you leave empty-handed. Roseway, he gently rested his chin on the bear's head. Bears are just creatures. Inedibles are not even worth it, satisfying hunger. But this one made on a foam pillow is quite nice. Walked forwardly recalls. Come pick me up after dinner tonight. Upon returning to the Dragon's Paradise, the 2 daughters developed today's family photos. Moken moved his tail. Mom and Dad look so perfect together. Lion developed a package, separated and found a card similar to Photo Rose. Waze and Lion read the contents of the card together. That the silver light shine forever in the eyes of those to whom love the second one. Next, they both blushed instantly. Said in unison, who is in love? There must be some error. I will take care of this photo. Exactly, take care of yourself. Late at night, Lion recalled that he still had to go looking for Rosevis. His heart tried to refuse, but if he wasn't going, he would be uncomfortable for a week. It's okay, I'll fight this dragon. Just when Lion was about to knock on the door of the room, realized that it was not closed, entered the living room, but there was no one there. Rose Ways had arrived early, was still bathing in the bathroom, while Lion tried to calm down. Rose Way out of the bathroom. I was wearing a light purple nightgown. Her silver, wet hair fell on her shoulders. You are here, we start, then living room more again. Lion was slightly surprised to hear this. Yellow is not very good. Truth, it would be embarrassing if someone saw Ye's. Then the living room is the same everywhere. Lion took a deep breath and slowly closed his eyes. Then let's start. Extended his arms directly, and fell down on the sofa. Listened to Rose Wise saying quietly next to him, what you are doing. Lian opened his eyes with some shyness. I had misunderstood Russ by laughing. With a somewhat derogatory and mocking tone said, Mr. Cosmo, you are very sexually frustrated, but tonight is not adequate. Put a fixed set of exams on the table. These are questions of previous exams at the SAN. Say us on reproductive families. Deal with life habits, personalities, and experiences of couples. We need to have our stories clear in advance so it was not to fail to respond and affect the entry assessment of No Leo. Found that they were all questions. Bored with couple compatibility questionnaires. Then began asking Rose Wise in order. What is your favorite color? Black. Rose Wise without hesitation then. And you silver. After responding, both looked unconsciously at each other's hair. The black Lion hair, his silver hair the second. Next, they both walked away with blushing faces. Just a coincidence. He is just a coincidence, said Raw Space proudly. Anyway, let's prove that we also understand each other first. After 2.5 minutes of testing, the results came out. My score is higher than yours. Seems to know His Majesty better. Rose White snorted with dissatisfaction after, looked carefully at the answer sheet of Lian again. Never expected him to notice even small habits, as the position he preferred for, and how he placed his tail more comfortably. He usually observes very carefully. The mistakes were all in guessing my thoughts. I've always been used to keeping everything inside, without sharing it with others. It is normal for him to guess wrong. Maybe with this person could contain. Seeing Rose Wise staring at it from the beginning could be because he obtained a higher score than her, and she held a grudge. Lian put his hand on his shoulder with a smile. We have not passed enough time together, so not getting good scores is normal. For no say, let us strive to understand each other more deeply. When seeing the serious expression of a Rose Wise, Lion could not avoid blushing, and his heart sped up, gave him a blow on the lion's face with an answer sheet. Stop saying, hurry up and write down your correct answers. After a week of hard work, his score, average in the exam, could exceed 80 points. If they acted normally, family evaluation should not be a problem. Rose Wise sat down quietly on the sofa with his frown on, puckered, appearing to have considerable pressure, beyond just fatigue. But just when Lion said he would be back, if there was no other option, she actually extended her hand, and the lion's clothing, then pointed to the bathroom in his room. There's a princess. Go take a bath before you leave. Lion was stunned. To take a bath in your room. This is an unprecedented treatment, but this dragon pushed the lion impatiently. I told you to go, so go. Stop taking too long. Lion could not understand why she insisted that he take a bath here for no reason. Was up to something wrong, but she had been nervous about the entrance exam these last days, so it should be fine. This large bathtub is really comfortable for soaking. Rose Boys walked in wrapped in a white bath towel. I have accumulated a lot of pressure these last few days. While speaking, the dragon mark began to activate. It seems that what is coming cannot be avoided. Transferring pressure to you gives me relief is perfect. You didn't come with this same mentality the other day. Being so-called lion could not respond. The next morning they took their daughter, to the St. Sis for the entrance evaluation. When seeing Rose Wise, looking nervous, Lion approached her and started joking with her. How is it that treatment for relieving last night's stress wore out so quickly? Rose Wise's face turned red as he hit the lion's breast. From behind also arrived to the registry office of the Dragon Division. Young man, the staff looked like somewhat surprised to see the application form for Nose Camel. Silver Dragon Clan 1 year and 3 months old. She looked at the lion with some confusion, although that requires young dragons to have at least 1 year prior to registration. In reality, all young dragons registered are between 4 and 6 years old. Is not this little princess a little too young? Sin embargo, Rose Wise was prepared and called the staff member systematically. Noah is very smart. Age is not a problem and we respect your wishes. At this moment, a school official in the distance approved the registration of Noah. There will be staff specialized to take her daughter for the written test later on, while Lion and Rose Wise go to the 4th floor for family evaluation. The office 3 old white-haired dragons were sitting in a row. Rose Wise bowed to the lion's ear and whispered, based on your experience, do you think these 3 are easy to deal with? Lion carefully evaluated these 3 dragons, and finally we will look quite easy to kill. If it were me before I was captured by you, could easily beat them in 50 rounds. If they dare not to let our know, I will go to school and see them with a knife. When the evaluation officially began, the white-haired old man sitting in the middle was the mayor of the centenary of the. Wilson told them not to be nervous and to answer their question only calmly. Understood. Director Lion and Roseby were forced lightly mirrors, but they were panicking inside. I wonder if this old man will ask any weird questions. Deputy Director Wilson took a lot of papers in front of him and ended up still remember their wedding anniversary. Lion and Rose Wise exchanged glances. This question really came. Had discussed this question together before, since they had never married. Had children before marriage. But there really was a memorable day. In the year of creation. 1733 said both in unison. May 25th, the day they fell in love with. At first glance in the dungeon, Deputy Director Wilson was surprised a little bit of the pair's synchronization. Married less than 2 years old with a child over 1 year old. This progress seems faster than that of ordinary families. Then the second question. In these 2 years of marriage, have discovered any defect or bad habit in the other that they cannot tolerate? Did not call Rose Wade immediately. Leon's answer was yes. Because the answers needed fixing truth and falsehood to be credible. The director Wilson was interested in this. How then? Lion said with a serious expression. Sometimes I feel I have no presence. Then with a happy face, I continue, my wife is too capable either in family matters or in household chores and child care. She handles everything perfectly, but I accumulate stress too easily. So I want to take advantage of this opportunity to do more for this family. Please trust me. Ross Wise looked at Lion in surprise. Actually, I just hope it doesn't squeeze me every time I am stressed. What a considered husband. Then Miss Ross Wise, which one believes he is her husband's most delicate quality? Asked the evaluator. Ross White said to himself with a blushing face. Handsome, good figure, centered and serious, intelligent and responsible, likes children, does not lose his temper. Although his body is not so good as before marriage, my husband is also excellent at making medicines. He uses various drugs to regulate his body. The lion's mouth twitched slightly when he heard this. Was this a compliment or an insult to him? Rose Wise looked at Lion with loving eyes. So I also want to take advantage of this interview opportunity to tell my husband, don't try too hard. Literally everything, even squeezed strongly the lion's hand. At the sight of the scene, all 3 evaluators were very satisfied and commented, what a loving couple. In the subsequent question and answer session, Leon and Rose Wise were in high sync. At the end of the interview, the evaluator on the left added a question. Of any questions you would like to ask yourself, I need the person you ask must respond. To avoid saying too much and make mistakes, Ross Wise, select directly. I have no questions to ask. I need all about my husband and you, Lord Lion. At that moment, Lion lay down on the sofa, caressing his chin with one hand, and with a slight expression of concern. Then I understand, Rose Wise. You seriously like the teddy bear I gave you as a gift? Truth, Rose Wise. I was surprised. I didn't expect him to ask such a question. A completely unrelated to status, position or grudges. Pupils shook shoulders as I raised my hand to accommodate your hair behind the ear. He lowered his eyes and nodded his head. I like Lion very much, applauded, saying that he had finished asking no more questions. Finally, this interview had ended. The results of the evaluation would be delivered to the Dragon Temple, silvered by the messenger dragon in a few days. 1 week later, the long messenger dragon finally arrived. The dragon's back. Inside a tube of bamboo, Lion lowered the tube and opened anxiously the envelope. Literally, the two daughters were watching, expectant. The content of the letter was no. Should apply to that. In 3 days to the entrance ceremony. Approved. The sister is amazing. Mom and Dad are amazing too. Unwin hugged No and turned in circles of happiness. No's heart was also full of joy. Rosebase looked Lion with a bright smile. Thank you. To hear her be so polite. Lian felt a little honest. Thank me for what? It was mainly No's effort. Worthy of being my daughter. Rose wise. Decided to prepare a great meal to celebrate. After taking a few steps, suddenly said, Lian, come and help, so you won't say that this family has no place for you again. Lian gritted his teeth and complained, you are a dragon. I have discovered that you are quite picky. On the day of the entrance ceremony of the San Tez, Vice Rector Wilson was the governor personally. The young dragons that successfully passed the evaluation of they and its tutors met in the auditorium. Among this year's new students, there were some with excellent ratings. We believe that only families harmonious can cultivate that students. Let's take advantage of it. This opportunity to invite these families to share some experience with everyone. Please give welcome to the new student with the highest score this year. No came away and her family on stage. The little girl very good clenched his fists in the extremely happy audience. Daddy, mommy and sister are going on stage. Lian and Rose Weiss walked with reluctance to the holding Noah's hands. Actually, an hour ago the deputy director, Wilson, had found them saying who were the family most outstanding in the entrance exam, then mentioned making them talk on stage. No choice. With so little time, we will only be able to grit our teeth. Noah also looked lifeless. She just wanted to sign up in silence. Why someone else can't do this embarrassing thing? Seeing that our family three is not good with words, Wilson had to smooth things over student Noah as the youngest candidate, but achieving a perfect score. Do you have any comments to share with everyone? Noah thought for a moment and said, my mother is a very powerful dragon. I want to be as strong as her when I grow up. When I proposed going to school, my mother gave me affirmation and support, and my sister Muan, who has always been by my side. I am very grateful to them. The lion's heart clenched, wondering if his daughter would mention it. The next second, no, continued the person I want to thank the most is my father. He helped me check and prepare for exams every day, often staying late to prepare materials. Thanks to him, I can be present here, like an older father listening to his daughter say this. Lion was moved to tears. That's all, thank you, said Note and politely bowed. Smiled and praised Lion for being good, teaching children, because your daughter is so grateful to you. Why don't you give him a kiss to show paternal love? Lion stopped his tears and looked back at Wilson in confusion. Wanted to this director convert the entrance ceremony to a parricide scene because a month ago Noah didn't even let Lion touch her. Then how could I let him kiss her in public? His Lion could only say in a low voice, Noah, you don't have to be that hard. We can simply embrace. Unexpectedly, Noah's face turned red with shame. A kiss on the cheek is fine, hurry up. And ends this embarrassing ceremony. As soon as he finished speaking, Lion was stunned, then quickly gave Noah the lie. Kiss on the forehead between the cheers of the Virgin. The relationship father and daughter finally showed signs of heaven. Everyone in the audience was extremely envious, also wanting to go up and kiss his sister, but was stopped by the maid. Dragon, looking at the shy little face of No Rose Weiss, felt secretly relieved. It's a good thing he didn't say to kiss her right now. But the following words from Wilson was totally stunned by the dragons. Exceptional. Do not forget, be grateful to their families. The way the Melby family gets along makes us feel what a real family should look like. Mr. Lion kissed his daughter, but how can he forget his wife? These words, Lion and Roseway were stunned. This old dragon is really trying his luck. It should have killed you during that day's evaluation, although Lion first for his. This was the most important opening ceremony of Noel, having passed through countless battles. How could he be scared by such a small scene? Lian boldly extended his hand to invite Rose. Wise, my dear wife. We are the happiest and most harmonious family, aren't we? Noah could not help it look up to see how his mother, that generally does not express emotions, would accept this public kiss. Rose Wise lowered her voice and said, you're really going to kiss me in front of hundreds of dragons? I have no choice. Our two daughters are watching. You could just play along with this. This is so embarrassing. After joining, they had basically done everything they do couples, but they had never kissed except for that fateful day 2 years ago. Lian was approaching more and more, and Rose Wise's cheeks were getting redder and redder. Whatever it is, I don't care anymore. Closed his eyes tightly, anticipating that kiss. Then a warm sensation touched his right cheek. But only for a brief moment. After opening, Roseway eyes looked at Lion with surprise and delight, then touched his little face, where she had been kissed, but the dragons below were still making noise. Why didn't you kiss on the lips? Give us another one. Lian smiled kindly, indicating that that was all I could do. Then he looked back at Rose and whispered something snooty that felt good. I finally got stress relief. I was furious inside, thinking, how dare you use me to relieve stress? If there had not been so many people here, would immobilize you against the ground. Seeing that the ceremony had begun, Wilson also moved on to close the event. Thank you very much to the family this year's model for bringing us so much joy and laughter. Please go and rest now, the ceremony is over. Noah was about to start his lie. At the end, his family of 4 members bid farewell at the doors of the Rose. Voice is not very good at expressing herself. We are going. Leaving now, we will pick you up next weekend. Make sure you take care of yourself. Muwen said so many things to his sister, but the main message was only one: sister. You have to miss Muwen. Yes, lion will miss you. It was finally the lion's turn.